Yeah, listen, anybody that's in this field is a great player. But you know when the guys have gotten out of the pool play, you know they're playing really strong, really solid golf, and you know it's going to take.
Golf fans often assume that Matt Kuchar has simply faded from the spotlight. But the truth is far more intriguing. His behavior throughout 2025 reflects a transition that insiders anticipated long before the public noticed. And it reveals a quiet reconstruction of his game, his schedule, and the future he's building piece by piece. What appears on the surface as decline is actually a form of career recalibration. Performance has always been the standard by which golfers are judged, and Kuchar's 2025 results showed a player whose game remained intact, if no longer dominant. His leaderboard appearances included flashes of form, top 30 finishes, sharp approach play, and late birdie streaks that reminded everyone he still carried veteran danger. His full year of results, traceable through major sports outlets, did not resemble a farewell tour, but rather the resume of someone managing his competitive energy with precision.
People are upset that Matt Kuchar won $1.3 million, and Matt Kuchar only gave him $5,000. So let's talk about that. Matt Kuchar in this caddy, that was not his normal caddy. He was outsourced. They had an agreed upon rate. $1,000 to the caddy if he missed the cut, $2,000 made the cut, $3,000 top 20, $4,000 top 10. He actually won it, and he gave an extra $1,000. So the caddy agreed to the terms.
Observers breaking down his season noted that Kuchar's short game, long one of the cleanest on tour, remained steady. Broadcast highlights from events such as the Sanderson Farms Championship showed him executing delicate approaches with the same calm expression he's known for. And his closing birdie setup that week stirred nostalgia for the player who once contended everywhere. Yet the numbers also revealed an unavoidable shift. Softening driving distance, dipping greens in regulation rates, and a clear transition from power to strategy. His tactical adaptation became a broadcast storyline as he began favoring angles over aggression, placement over force. Analysts framed it as the wisdom phase of a career, where experience becomes the primary weapon. Paired with occasional appearances alongside his son Cameron at family events or exhibitions, the narrative expanded competition blended with mentorship, brilliance layered with warmth. His long-time role in team-style formats resurfaced too, especially through clips of that iconic 57 at the PNC Championship, symbolizing the career he now embodied, moments of excellence wrapped in legacy. His 2025 scorecards told a simple truth: he was still good, just different. Strategic, steady, emotionally grounded, and still showing up. Yet the year was also marked by quiet turbulence. The early passing of his father, Peter Kuchar, while traveling, sent a muted shock through the golf world. For those who knew their history, including Peter's memorable caddying stint at the 1998 US Open, the loss carried immense weight. Though Kuchar spoke little about his grief, his silence became its own powerful chapter.
Favorite thing is how solid the putter is and how well it rolls off the face. Except for you guys that I use to help is I do some one-handed putting. So when I get started, I like to just have the putter up against my left arm and then just hit a few as if I'm just brushing. I feel like I'm using a paintbrush, and I'm just going to brush this ball to the hole. Hope that helps.
After February, analysts noticed Matt Kuchar tightening his schedule even further, appearing only when he chose to, moving through tournaments with the composed restraint that often follows personal loss. Golf still served him, but now strictly on his own terms. The public saw only glimpses, quiet moments of focus, small gestures, subtle signs of a man reordering his inner world. Family became the emotional spine of his story, especially as clips of him and his son Cameron at the PNC Championship resurfaced with new weight. That viral 57 didn't just stir nostalgia. It now looked like a reminder of why Kuchar still cared about competition at all. Alongside this emotional undercurrent, he leaned deeper into community charity events, junior clinics, sponsor-aligned outreach, quiet contributions that rarely made headlines, but revealed a shift in how he presented himself. For a player long seen as tidy and measured, this blend of presence and privacy.
This putt is for the major. His name etched on the trophy, and the millions of dollars. You gotta wonder what's going through his head.
Added unexpected dimension. The turbulence of 2025 never erupted into spectacle. It simmered, reshaping his choices, deepening his motivations, and reframing the question fans kept asking. What had happened to Matt Kuchar? The truth beneath the professional surface was that he was navigating grief with the same steady hands he once used to guide wedges, making each reappearance softer, rarer, and somehow more precious. That personal shift fed directly into a broader legacy transition, seen most clearly in the deliberate, almost curated structure of his schedule. His 2025 season resembled a portfolio intentionally sparse, strategically chosen, built around sponsor exemptions and signature events where visibility trumped volume. The Memorial exemption embodied this shift. Not a ranking-based entry, but an invitation rooted in long-standing respect and the value he brings to broadcasts. These sponsor exemptions weren't charity, they were business. Kuchar offered reliability-polished interviews, brand-friendly presence, veteran steadiness in early coverage, and in return he gained opportunities perfectly aligned with his evolving purpose. Industry observers recognized the blueprint. Fewer events, more targeted impact, a veteran maximizing value rather than grinding for points. He wasn't fading, he was repurposing, transitioning from pure competitor to polished ambassador. His starts became strategic investments in life after full-time play broadcasting, mentorship, senior tour possibilities. Fewer tournaments, maximum relevance. His carefully orchestrated schedule signaled a man balancing present competitiveness with future identity, reshaping himself into a legacy asset and a sponsor's dream. Underneath all of it ran the quiet emotional current of the year. The passing of his father, Peter Kuchar, cast a long shadow over 2025. Even without public statements, the influence was unmistakable, marked by his withdrawal from the WM Phoenix Open and the quiet that followed. Mourning shaped the rhythm of his season, a soft outline that touched every choice he made.
And even embraces the expectations his last name brings.
Oh, Eagle Falls for the Kuchars. This is some unbelievable run.
I like knowing that I have a name where people are going to draw attention to it. I think it just gives me that little extra motivation just to keep playing well, keep my head up, keep smiling.
Rather than leaning into public vulnerability, Matt Kuchar adopted a quiet, steady resilience throughout 2025. He continued to play, but the tone of his presence shifted. Practice rounds carried a heavier kind of focus, not sadness, but a measured stillness that analysts couldn't help noticing. Broadcasters referenced his personal loss only gently, framing each appearance not as a comeback, but as a deliberate act of continuation. Even his smallest on-course gestures seemed to carry added weight. In contrast, circulating family footage, especially the enduring clips from the PNC Championship, offered emotional counterbalance. Watching Kuchar and his son Cameron move in sync through fairways, trading smiles over birdie streaks, cast new light on the living legacy shaped by his father Peter. These moments created a narrative symmetry. A father who once walked with him, and a son who now shared the ropeline memories. His community appearances deepened that thread. Though Kuchar had always participated in charity events and junior clinics, this year the interactions felt different, more intimate, more grounding, less performative. They acted as stabilizers, anchoring him in a quieter, more personal version of the sport. By mid-season, fans asking what happened weren't questioning his swing, but the tonal shift around him, the quiet, the tenderness that lingered behind interviews. His grief hadn't erupted, it had settled into the atmosphere, shaping him gently and unmistakably, like fog reshaping a landscape. As questions about his future grew, speculation narrowed into three paths. Keep grinding, transition to the Champions Tour, or step into broadcasting. Observers sensed he was preparing for a hybrid evolution, a three-lane future built for longevity. His selective schedule, polished sponsor presence, and mentor-like tone all pointed to a player not slowing down, but mutating into a sustainable version of himself. Broadcasting seemed the clearest route, given his calm camera presence and natural clarity. Champions Tour prospects hovered as well, where his precision and course management could immediately shine. And his steady involvement in charity work, community events, and junior programs hinted at an emerging ambassador identity. Together, these threads painted a picture of expansion rather than retreat. Kuchar hadn't vanished. He had transformed, less frantic touring, more legacy shaping, all carried by a quiet emotional resilience. The question was no longer what happened, but what comes next. And whatever direction he takes, his reinvention ensures the next chapter will be worth watching.